Hello everyone. Welcome back to Risa Does Makeup. In today's video, I'm going to be shopping my stash. In these crazy, stressful times, I know a lot of us are at home right now and we might be going a little stir crazy being at home. So I wanted to just do a video using absolutely nothing new. I'm not talking about any new products. Everything I'm going to be showing you today, I've had for quite a while. I'm trying to use things that I haven't used in a while. Maybe you have them in your collection too and you've been neglecting them. And this look is a little bit dramatic. This is what you're going to be seeing me do today in this video. Step-by-step sort of tutorial, but mostly we're going to be chatting. This look was sent to me, well, a photo was direct messaged to me via Instagram by a longtime subscriber. She asked me if I would be willing to do a recreation, do a tutorial for this look right here. As soon as I saw it, I went, whoa, that's beautiful. I can totally do that. And it's a look that I haven't done a lot of lately on my channel. It just seems that people aren't that into more dramatic looks these days, which I totally get. I totally understand that. In most people's day-to-day lives, you really don't have the occasion to wear makeup like this. But today I just wanted to sit down, play with some makeup, do this recreation that I was asked to do because I do try to listen to my viewers, and some of you that have been longtime subscribers of my channel, I truly appreciate you giving me these requests for videos, video ideas, or what you'd like to see more of. And you may think that I don't know who you are, but I do know who you are. I recognize names, and all of my wonderful long-term supporters, you guys have no idea how much I appreciate you. And as I said, I do try to listen to your requests. And anyway, today we're gonna chat. We're gonna chat about movies. We're gonna chat about television shows. I'm not gonna lie, the chattiness does take a little bit of time to get into because I seem to always go into tutorial mode when I'm applying my makeup on camera. And anyway, I think once we get started, you will see a little bit of a different side of me and you will see how to get this look, this recreation. So let's jump right in. All right, so we are going to get started on this makeup look. It's actually really easy. The eyes especially. I think it's going to take me longer to put my face makeup on than to actually do the eye makeup. So, as I said earlier, I am shopping my stash. So I'm using some things I haven't used in a while. The first one being this Dior primer. I like it. I don't really think it's anything special. If you have oily skin and large pores like I do, this should not be your number one primer choice. There are far better primers on the market. Some of you, of course, already know what my number one choices are. The Hourglass Veil Primer. I like the Strivectin Blurring Primer. And I will put a couple of my favorites in the description box. For my foundation, I am using the Armani Luminous Silk. Do you know how long it's been since I have used this foundation? Oh wait, before I do this, I want to put on my eyeshadow primer, and I'm going to be using the NARS Pro Prime Tinted Smudge Proof Eyeshadow Base in medium. I always do this first. Whenever I do my makeup, I always prime both my face and my eyes first. And I really like this medium shade because it neutralizes all of that discoloration on my lid. Those lovely blue veins that are appearing more and more every day. And once I get started applying my foundation, then we'll chat about some other things. But right now, I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So I'm all primed, and now we can go on to foundation. As I said, I'm using the Armani Luminous Silk, and to apply that, I am using this BK Beauty 106 brush. I really like this foundation applied with a brush. I feel like a damp sponge takes away too much of the coverage, and I like more of a medium to full coverage. And the shade I'm using is 5.75. This foundation has always been one of my top picks for those with mature skin. One of my very first jobs in makeup, wait, that's not true. Why would I say one of my very first jobs? I started doing makeup in '96, and I worked for Armani from 2005 to 2007. So it was nowhere near one of my first jobs. It just seems so long ago. And as you can see, this matches my neck because I've self-tanned my neck and chest, but it really doesn't match my face. But you want everything to be one color, so the 5.75 matches my neck. So back to working for Armani. I worked at the Giorgio Armani boutique inside the Bellagio here in Las Vegas. And at the time, it was the only Giorgio Armani counter in Las Vegas, probably in all of Nevada. And the only reason why it was there in the Bellagio at that Armani boutique was because Elaine Wynn, who is the wife of Steve Wynn, I say it like that because he's gotten himself into some trouble. Apparently not a great guy. Anyway, so Elaine Wynn, his wife at the time, I don't even know if they're still married, she loved this foundation. And she owned, I should say, they owned the Bellagio. So this is at least the story that I heard. And I always thought it was true. Maybe it's not, but it's what I've always heard. She wanted a counter in the store. So there was myself and one other makeup artist, and we worked that counter. And the point of my story about working at the Bellagio at the Armani counter is that I've been using the Luminous Silk since then, off and on since 2005. So for concealer, I am going to use the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the shade Cream Puff. I have not used this in forever. And now that I'm thinking about it, this might be too light. Oh, I recently just did a video. It was a Target haul, and I showed this sponge from e.l.f. And in the video, I used it wet when I blended in my concealer, and I said I really didn't like it. Basically for the same reason why I said I don't like to use a damp beauty blender for the foundation, is because it was just removing the coverage. So now I use it dry. I do not wet this sponge, and I love it. It is so good for blending in concealer. I even like it better than my mini beauty blender. All right, I said we were going to talk about something fun, and we have not yet talked about anything fun. Let's talk about some TV shows and movies that we like. We can give each other maybe some recommendations in the comments. What are we all watching while we are social distancing? For me, I always really like to watch old episodes of Friends. I swear I've watched every episode at least 10 times, but they just never get old to me. I just think it's really funny. Joey is especially my favorite. Although, didn't they do like a spin-off sitcom called Joey that just did not do well at all? But I don't know, I think his character is so funny. And Phoebe, of course. What am I using? This is the Nikkia Joy Velvet Finishing Powder. Just gonna lightly set my face with the BK Beauty 104. This concealer actually doesn't look too bad now, does it? Kind of like a bright under eye. I don't like it to be too bright, and I have received comments in the past from people saying, your under eyes are too light. Well, you know, I like it. I like the way this looks. Another show I really like to watch is The Goldbergs. If you are a child of the 80s like I am, you probably love this show too. It is so funny. My favorite character is Barry. I think he is flippin' hilarious. Where is my angled brush? You guys, I promise you, I was prepared. And now I feel like I'm totally unprepared. I'm going to contour with my Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow. This is the medium dark one, so I have to be really, really careful not to go overboard because this contour color is really, really dark. The only reason why I'm not using the light one right now is because I am going to use this as my blush. And like I said, if I use a light hand, I'm okay. So, the Goldbergs. So funny. The moms sweaters that she wears, those 80s sweaters, they crack me up. My mom used to wear those as well. Heck, I used to wear those. bedazzled sweaters and sweatshirts. We all did, didn't we? And I heard that the sweaters that Beverly Goldberg wears on the show, or should I say the actress that plays Beverly Goldberg, isn't her name like Wendy McClellan Covey or something? Anyway, she was in Bridesmaids. She's really funny. She plays Beverly Goldberg, and from what I understand, the sweaters that she wears on the show are the real Beverly Goldberg's sweaters. They were actually taken from her closet to use on the show, which I think is awesome. I think my mom kept some of her 80s sweaters, actually. Oh gosh, I had some that were Angora, that like fuzzy knit. My mom used to knit sweaters. She would knit her own, and they were actually really nice. I wonder, I should ask her if she's kept them. Gosh, do you guys remember the shoulder pads? Ugh, the shoulder pads, the hair. I mean, could my hair get any bigger, as Joey would say? Could I be wearing any more clothes? Okay, now that I'm talking about Joey and Friends again, I have to tell you that, because I know a lot of you watch Stephanie Marie's videos as well, she and I are both like huge Friends lovers and watchers, and we quote Friends all the time to each other, and we sent, oh, this is dirty. We send each other memes. Like, do you remember this? Like Ross and Rachel were doing that to each other. Instead of like swearing at each other, they would go like this. And so whenever Stephanie and I are mad about something, that's like our meme that we'll send, or GIF that we will send to each other. Oh, it's so funny. Some people think that it wasn't funny. I bet you I'll get some comments. Oh, by the way, I am using the Platinum Blonde Arch Brow from Hourglass for my brows today. Yeah, I am betting that I will get some comments from people saying that they did not think that Friends was a funny TV show. But I think it's hilarious. It still makes me laugh out loud. And I also, this is going to come as a surprise to a lot of people, and maybe I'll get some people unfollowing. I don't know. People unfollow or unsubscribe for some strange reasons, but I really like Family Guy and American Dad. It is so un-PC, and sometimes I listen to it and I'm like, I can't even believe that they're saying this. It's just so wrong. Yet I am laughing, especially with American Dad, Roger. Oh, Roger the alien. Oh my goodness, just cracks me up. And of course, you know, with Family Guy, sometimes it's just so stupid that I do roll my eyes at it, but other times, I'm not gonna lie, I find myself laughing out loud. And you know, in these kind of times, gosh, can you guys hear me? I feel like I need to be closer to the microphone. In these times, we need to laugh. So I might have said this earlier, but please recommend in the comments some TV shows or movies that you think are really funny. As far as movies go, one of my favorite movies that always makes me laugh out loud is Wedding Crashers. Oh my gosh. Every time I make meatloaf for my family, which is a couple times a month, my kids really like my meatloaf. I'm not a big meatloaf lover, but my kids love it. So I make it for them, and every time I make meatloaf, all I can hear is Will Ferrell in Wedding Crashers yelling, "Mom, meatloaf!" Oh my gosh, you guys. So many of you are going to be, I feel like, just shocked at this video, because I don't normally like let this side of me out on video. And I have heard, like when I did that video with Kate the Great Beauty back in November, she came to town and we drank in that video, and I really let loose. And so many people said, well, not so many, but a few people said, you know, Risa, we've never heard you laugh before on camera, or just be that open and, you know, just show your sense of humor. And I thought, really? Really? I love to laugh. I love to make people laugh. I love to watch funny things. And what really disappoints me is that that video didn't get a lot of views, and I'm really not sure why. I thought it was awesome. I still think it's a great video. All right, so what I do next after my brows is I carve them out using a concealer, and my favorite product to do this with is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer, and I'm using the lightest shade available. It's called Chantilly. And then I'm just using a synthetic concealer brush. And as I said, just carving out my brows. And now I'm using this Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer that is discontinued. They've come out with a new version, but I actually still like this one more. And it's really hard to find, except I think you can still get it on Amazon, and I've heard from some viewers that you can find it at the dollar store. Again, it's the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer. If I can find it on Amazon, I will, of course, link it for you in the description box. I use the shade Blonde. So in this photo, it appears to me that the model just has on a couple of brown shades. A matte brown all over the lid, like a matte cool brown, then a sort of medium tone brown right in the crease, and then a reddish brown as a transition shade. And then she has like a cream color under the brow. So I feel like I can get all of those in this one palette, the Too Faced Just Peachy Mattes. I think this is perfect for recreating this look. And the cool brown I'm going to use is chocolate dipped. But I'm going to start with a combination of Fresh Picked and Peach Cobbler in my crease as a transition. And for that, I'm going to use a BK Beauty 201 brush, dipping into Peach Cobbler and Fresh Picked, and putting that all over my crease. And let's get back to talking about movies. I watched a movie last night with my kids called Knives Out. Well, my husband and kids, called Knives Out. And I am not one for watching movies in the theaters. I get really fidgety. And now all the theaters are so comfortable, at least around where I live. They're all those, reclining seats that you can basically fall asleep in. And that's usually what ends up happening to me, is I get so comfortable that I fall asleep. Unless the movie is like amazing, but I don't know. I don't like going to the movies. I prefer to watch them at home, especially if it's a long movie, then I really don't want to go. I'm just not into super long movies. And anyway, we watched Knives Out last night. And I remember wanting to go see it when it was in theaters because it did look like something I would like, but I just never did. And so we watched it last night, and I thought it was really good. At first I was like, I don't know, but I stuck with it and I ended up really enjoying it. All right, so for that cool brown color now, I am going to use, as I said, chocolate dipped, and I'm going in with a medium sweeper brush, E54 from Sigma. And something else that I'm glad I stuck with is the Outsider. As you can see, I'm just packing this color all over my lid. The Outsider on HBO. I really liked the first couple of episodes. By the way, it's with Jason Bateman, and there's another actor in there that I really, really like. I can't think of his name right now. So yeah, Jason Bateman is in this, and the first episodes are so, so good. But I'm not really into sci-fi, or not sci-fi, but supernatural type of TV shows and movies. And so when it kind of, not to spoil anything, I think I'm spoiling things, but when it kind of started to take that turn into the supernatural, and yeah, I kind of rolled my eyes and was like, really, I don't know if I can watch this anymore. It's not my thing. But I stuck with it and I ended up loving it. So all I've done here is I've laid down that chocolate dipped and then blended it out with that BK Beauty brush. No, I used a different brush. I used the diffused crease from Sigma, the E38. So let me know in the comments if you've seen The Outsider, what you thought of it. That ending, oh my God. Actually, the second to last episode, holy cow. When we were done watching it, my husband said, is that it? Like, is that the end of the season? And I said, it better not be. Thank God it wasn't. It ended really, really well. Like, yeah. If you haven't seen it, I recommend it. So now I want to have a bit of a transition between that dark cool brown and that peachy tone. So I'm going to go in with this Isom brush W36, and I'm going to go into Peach Tart, which is that mid-tone brown. I mean, it's sort of dark, but I'm going to use a light hand, and this brush just gives a nice diffusion of color. And I'm just putting that right in between. All right, now the last step for my eyes is to pop that ivory shadow under the brow bone. I'm using Peach Meringue. And now I am using this Rephr brush 03. It's one of my favorite pencil brushes, and I am taking the shades Peach Cobbler and Fresh Picked, the same ones that I used as my transition, and I'm running that along the lower lash lines. Now, I think it's sort of obvious by now that this is more of a nighttime look. I don't think anybody would be wearing this during the day, but who knows? I really, really like it though. It's been such a long time since I've done any sort of matte eyeshadow look. So now I'm gonna curl my lashes, apply some mascara, and tightline using, where are you? My favorite tightlining pencil, the Smoldering Eyeliner from L'Oreal. I'm gonna do all of that off camera, just in the interest of saving some time. All right, so the lashes are on and I am looking pretty dramatic. You can always do no lashes or much more natural looking lashes than these, although I do think these are really pretty. So back to the model. I struggled to figure out what was on her cheeks. It looked very peachy, sort of terracotta-y, but of course that can change, you know, depending on where you're looking at the photo. If you're looking at it on a computer monitor, or my new iPhone 11 Pro shows things a lot warmer than my 7 did. That one was much cooler. This one shows things much warmer. So I'm going with a peachy terracotta. And I thought the perfect blush for that would be, as I think I said earlier, the highlight shade from the Charlotte Tilbury Filmstar Bronze and Glow palette. For that, I am using my Sonia G Soft Cheek brush, and it looks like she has beautiful cheekbones, because of course she's probably only like 20 years old, but it looks like the color is almost like a contour, but it has a little bit of peachiness to it. So I'm putting this right underneath my cheekbones, not on my cheeks, but underneath. A lot of times I will smile when I apply my blush like this, but for this look I'm just going like this, the old school fishy face. Now for highlight, I'm going to use one of my oldies but goodies. It is the Mary Lou-Manizer from TheBalm. This is still one of my all-time favorite highlighters. Look at that, it's just beautiful. Gives such an amazing glow to the skin. And this model has some glow going on. I also want to put a little bit of that highlight in my tear duct area. Now it appears to me that the lips in this photo are overlined and the lip liner is a little bit darker than the lipstick. And I know a lot of you do not like that look. I personally don't mind it. I don't like when it's so extreme, as in a pale, pale pink on the lips with a dark brown liner, but I kind of like this look where it is just a little bit darker. I went through a lot of my lip liners trying to figure out which one was closest, and I think that MAC Strip Down is pretty close. For lipstick, I'm using Modesty, also from MAC. And it appears to me that she has a little bit of lightness right in the center. So I'm going to take MAC Myth and apply that right to the middle of my lips. All right, this is it. This is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this chatty get ready with me. If you did like it, please give the video a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed to my channel, it would be great if you would hit that subscribe button and join the Risa Does Makeup family. I would love to have you. You can also find me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter under the same username, Risa Does Makeup. As always, if you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to leave them for me in the comments. All of the products will be listed and linked in the description box, and I look forward to seeing you all again very soon.